Hi guys, and welcome back to Crypto Chester. Today we're going to be talking about Chainlink. We're going to be breaking it down from a fundamental perspective, a technical analysis perspective, and also looking at an in-depth price prediction to see how high this asset could be going and how much money we could be making investing in this thing. Okay, so starting off, let's get straight into what Chainlink is. Now, Chainlink serves as the backbone of blockchain. Okay, and the example that we've got here basically is Chainlink serves as a decentralized oracle. Now, decentralized oracle acts as a bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. Okay, so Web 3, basically blockchains, they can't transact using real world assets, so real estate and stuff like that, without having any data. Okay, they can't facilitate the transactions on smart contracts. So basically, in a more simple term, why do blockchains need something like Chainlink? Blockchains like Ethereum, Solana, HBAR are closed systems. Okay, blockchains are closed, protected, security tight systems. They can't access the real world on their own, like house prices, rental payments, and stock values, because they only see what's already on their chain. Okay, this is where Chainlink comes in. It's a bridge between the real world and the blockchain. It fetches off-chain data like prices, events, and payments, and feeds it into the smart contracts of these blockchains. Okay, so an example of this would be real estate payments using, say, HBAR layer 1 blockchain, for example. Let's say HBAR is being used to settle monthly rental payments for a tokenized apartment. Okay, but here's the problem. How does the smart contract on Hedera know how much the rent is, or when the rent is due, or if the tenant has paid? Okay, this is where Chainlink comes in. It pulls that data off off Web 2 systems, and puts it onto Web 3 systems, and basically feeds that data into smart contracts, so layer 1 blockchains and Web 3 can facilitate those transactions. Okay, so basically, in a very, very simple understanding here, you can see that without a decentralized oracle, the smart contract on the blockchain, say Ethereum, HBAR, whatever layer 1 you want to reference here, is essentially blind. It doesn't have any data. So this is why it's super important to have oracles, or decentralized oracles, in the crypto space to feed the layer 1 blockchains and the smart contracts that data. Otherwise, they can just facilitate transactions that are basically a P2P transaction and not in any depth, and have things like smart contracts that are tied into certain things like houses, gold, stocks, government bonds, farmland, luxury goods. For example, if you're trading like a Gucci bag, you're selling it to someone, that is going to be tied onto the blockchain, but it needs to have the data of that specific luxury good. So that's where Chainlink would fetch that data, put it onto the smart contract, put it onto the blockchain, and essentially make it available for that to happen. Okay, so that's sort of the fundamentals of Chainlink there. Now let's really get into the technical analysis and look at the potential price prediction for this asset to see how high this thing could be going and how much money we could be making trading this. We'll be starting off with a coin market cap update. You can see here on the Chainlink profile, it's actually priced at $17.17. In the last day, it's up $2.59. The last 7 days, 23%. And the last month, we love to see it, 31%. Looking very, very good as well. Just looking at that chart, it's quite a nice macro chart overall. On the yearly, it's probably only up around 28%, because we have seen a bit of a dip down since obviously December highs here, which we will get into in the chart very, very shortly. But one thing about Chainlink, it is actually the leader in the real world asset space. So if we're talking luxury goods, if we're talking real estate, if we're talking actually bringing the real world assets on chain and bridging that gap between Web 2 and Web 3, Chainlink is the one doing it at the moment, with the highest volume and the highest market cap in the space. $635 million worth of volume in the last 24 hours at an $11 billion market cap, ranked actually 12th out of all cryptocurrencies in the world right now. Okay, so it's a reputable asset, okay, to say the least. Now, you're probably asking this question: how high can this thing go? Let's look at the chart and let's look at a price prediction for this. So we're going to be starting off with basically an in-depth technical analysis review of where everything is, and then we'll see how high this thing can go. So Chainlink right now is at a pinnacle point in terms of resistance. You can see previously when we tapped this high back basically in mid-December, we saw heavy resistance from this zone. And you can see again, we tap this again multiple times, having resistance continuously. In terms of volatility to the downside here, this area has not been nice to Chainlink at all. Now, why is this important? It's important because right now is actually essentially where we're sat. We're sat directly on this trend line. Now, could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. We could get pretty aggressively rejected here like we have done in previous price action, so we need to be prepared for that. But also, if we break this to the upside, like we have done on a lot of other assets here, just referencing the same December trend line, we've got a massive move coming, okay? And this move is going to be ridiculous. If we're looking at, say, a broadening wedge chart pattern, you can see it's a broadening wedge. It's opening to the downside here. The gap between these trend lines is getting bigger from top to bottom. The support is strong on the lower side. And you can see if we break this, we're going to be looking at a measure move. Now, the measure move is going to be from the start of this broadening wedge here and basically dragging that over to the breakout point. That does give us a price prediction here on the short term, not the macro across the board here, but the short term macro of roughly $25 a coin. Okay, that would put the market cap back up to roughly, let's have a little look here, roughly around a 20, no, that was wrong, roughly around a $16, $17 billion market cap. As I said, currently sat at around $11 billion market cap. So in order for us to get there, we would be looking for a pump. Now, this pump is not small, guys. It's actually a 44% move here for Chainlink to the upside. Absolutely ridiculous, but completely achievable, especially with everything that's happening here with Web 2, with Web 3, and that gap being bridged. Chainlink leading the way in terms of real world assets. Real world assets is just, it's exploding at the moment, okay? If you literally just look at the market cap for real world assets over the last sort of like, well, this is 30 days. You can see it's driving up like crazy here. But if you look at the all-time market cap for real world assets, you can see it's absolutely soaring here. It's getting ready for another leg up here to around the $80 billion market cap level. Okay, with Chainlink leading the way, that's very bullish for this asset. Okay, so that's going to be the trade. That's the 44%. Now you're asking, how high can Chainlink go? That's the big question that everyone's asking here. So let's get into this and see how high this thing can go. So if we look at CMC and we look at the all-time high here for Chainlink from a market cap perspective, it was around $20 billion. This was back in 2021 when there was no real bridge between, I mean, there was, but it wasn't that valid between Web 2 and Web 3. We know Chainlink is a decentralized oracle, and we know how important that is to real world assets. Okay, as we said, real world assets is about to explode to the upside with Chainlink leading the way at a $20 billion market cap valuation. I think that is underpriced in my opinion, okay? This is back in 2021 all-time high. So if we're looking at this from more of a broader perspective here, and we're looking at the price, you can see the price of this asset was basically $50 a coin. That was roughly around a 3x from where it is now, but I do believe, okay, I do believe we're easily in this run looking at a $60 to $100 billion market cap for Chainlink, okay? And that would put this asset at a ridiculous price, okay? So let's really actually see how high this thing could go, okay? So this is a $20 billion market cap at, say, $50 there. So a $20 billion market cap, a $40 billion market cap would be 100%, okay? It would be a 2x. So this would be 100%, and this would be priced at around $104 for Chainlink. Now, a 3x, which would be a $60 billion market cap, which again, guys, completely achievable in the next 2 years, in my opinion, if crypto is widely adopted by massive countries and Trump and everything like that. There's so many fundamental bullish things that are happening right now. That is a 3x. Now, let's have a little, that's a little bit less than that. Yeah, so that is a 3x from this price there, which would be putting it at a price of $154 a coin, okay, and that would be a $60 billion market cap. Now you can see if we go up to a 4x, which is an $80 billion market cap, guys, that would put the price of this asset, okay, and remember, this is completely realistic, at $200 a coin. $200 a coin from the all-time high. Okay, now if we get to 100 billion market cap is what we're essentially aiming for here, which again, super achievable here. We're looking at $259 prediction here for Chainlink. Now, if we are going to be looking at the current price to where it is now, it's currently at $17. Up to that $100 billion market cap is what we're sort of looking out for here over the next sort of 2 to 5 years or so with crypto exploding. You're looking at roughly 1,368% on your investment. That's a 14x here on your investment here for Chainlink. Let me know in the comment section whether you think that this is completely outlandish or you agree with me. Remember, guys, this is real world assets. This is the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. It is the leader in the real world asset space. This thing has got so much traction. It's been around for so long. It's very secure. It's the backbone of blockchain. I actually went to a Chainlink event about a month ago, I think it was. Over in Bangkok in Thailand, and yeah, it was really good, great community building and everything like that, and you can see the guys are really serious behind this project. But again, let me know what you think of this price prediction in the comment section. I'm super intrigued to know, and if you like Chainlink, drop a little like as well. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Peace out for now, and I'll see you in the next one.